Book who wrote the book of love. Welcome to Bucks on the Bookshelf with your host, Steve the Bookman Eisenstein. Steve the Bookman Eisenstein has been involved in buying, selling, and appraisals of rare books since 1968. This show has been designed with making money for the listeners in mind. More people know the value of coins, stamps, objects of art, and collectibles they do not own than the values of the books in their home library shelves. Now, here's Steve the Bookman Eisenstein.
Oh, welcome back. I want to go out and stop a dance floor. Man, I haven't done that in so long.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Fun.
I will say my ex-wife was a ballroom instructor. She worked at the Fontainebleau. Tony Valentine, if that rings a bell. I don't know how long you've been here, Fran. But if you don't help me practice, I won't be good. So I became pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah. Anyway, Max. Hey, buddy.
We're here.
Max Roback, meet Fran Miller. Both of you have absolutely dynamic business models in your field. Fran, Max has it down that if he does an auction online, by the time the third bidder is bidding on the third lot, the label has been printed and the check's been paid. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. One day I'm going to grow up and figure out how to do that.
But I injure myself on the job too, so just.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's.
Look
Oh,
at
yeah,
that.
look at that, Fran.
At least you could cover it with bandages, and you don't need X-rays to see what it looks like. Okay.
Hey, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm scared of needles, Steve.
No, me too. Oh God, yeah. I mean, I would say a dumb joke, but yeah, thank God I'm scared of needles.
Thank you again for having me. You know, I look forward to being with you, and now I get to meet Fran, and I'm excited about being here for everybody.
Max, you got the background looks so much more expansive.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot bigger than you think. It doesn't
Well, yeah,
end.
but those shelves were empty behind you the other day. At least the ones you were behind look
Yeah.
totally.
Well, you know what? Let's rewind a little bit so people who are listening know what's going on. Currently, I'm at Faith Farm Ministries. Yeah. On this.
Okay, now
This
okay.
isn't my garage. This is I'm at Faith Farm Ministries on the second floor in their media department, and I do a lot of consulting work for them with books and ephemera and all the great stuff that comes in. You know, they have 3 campuses in South Florida: Fort Lauderdale, Boynton, and Okeechobee. We do a lot of great work. We help men and women who are battling addiction, drugs, and alcohol. We navigate, we get them on the backtrack. Everything we do here goes to helping those who need the help. And Saturday morning, this morning at 9 a.m., Steve, you won't believe this. 9 a.m. this morning, I was running a book auction. People that were in California, 6 a.m. were bidding on books. And we just did this for about 2 hours before the world woke up.
What was going? What kind of things were you selling, Max? What was going?
I sold some nice genealogy books. I sold a signed Eli Wiesel in Hebrew book this morning.
How much did that go for?
About 125, I believe. 125. I sold a lot of kids' books. I sell what we get. I'm a victim to what we get every week, and so I can only sell what we get. But we move books at such a furious pace here. We just keep going. People who come, we sell it on the platform Whatnot. So people who come on Whatnot and they see one of my shows on Saturday morning will see me running frantically. Shane, come over here real quick. Oh, there's Shane. And you'll see me and my buddy Shane over here going.
Hey, Stan, I saw him last week. Hey, buddy. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, sure. Hey, Stan.
Shane got his life right.
Shane.
Faith Farm did amazing things. And he's also in my Paper Gold book community group. And he's just becoming a great bookseller now.
Amen. Fran, meet Max. Max, meet Fran. Somewhere off air, you guys should talk to each other. I'm sure we can network.
Wait, Fran already invited me to dinner. You didn't hear that, Steve?
Oh, no.
You have to come down south for dinner.
How far south are you, Fran? How far?
Further than I am, Max.
I'll take Uber, Fran. I'll take Uber.
Okay.
I'm not jumping on 95.
Max, do you only sell books?
No, I do books. I do ephemera. I mean, I do a lot of high-end books. I do a lot of mid-level books. I do a lot of low-end bulk books. Matter of fact, Steve, some good news for you. We sold another photography book this morning.
Which
Uh,
one?
The Art of Light, I believe. The Art of Light.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go. You can go on my eBay page, and
I know.
I know.
I'm a die. I
Technology.
want to see a spreadsheet. I don't want to, even type somewhere
Yeah,
else.
yeah. We
Uh,
sold one this morning. I believe we
Good.
sold a 125 for you this morning.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
and
That was the white book no, that was the other one, New
I
York
have
one.
I haven't even seen it yet because I
Yeah.
sold it on the
And,
way
and
here.
let me give you a public apology, okay? I mean this sincerely. I did not mean intentionally. You told me send me anything and everything if it's a good title. So, no problem, man. No problem.
No,
I
no,
Can I
think,
ask
this
a
was from your
question?
first batch, Steve. This was from your first batch. Tomorrow we're going to sell the second batch. Yes, Fran, I see you.
you two
Max,
should get
do
together
you,
with the furniture, with what you guys with the
Yeah.
Fran. Talk to them about what you're talking about.
Max, I have a
Yes.
question. Do you read a lot of these books? Are you an avid reader?
I am a former high school teacher. I am a former English major. I have a master's in fine arts and literature.
Oh,
I am a very well-read person, and I would do very well in Jeopardy, but I don't do well in the real world.
Me too. If I was ever on Jeopardy, my goal would be to clear the board. Has that ever been done in Jeopardy's history? Has one
I'm
person
sure it
ever
has. I'm
cleared the
sure it has.
board?
I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm trying to find out.
Yeah,
I'll
You
find
know.
out
yeah.
for you.
Okay, I'll
Fran,
Google it. Yeah.
this morning I sold a Bertrand Russell book, and if you know Bertrand Russell, I was talking all about Bertrand Russell to the people who were bidding this morning, and then we were talking about Chaucer, and then we were talking about John Milton. So I love talking the talk of literature, and I think it helps sell books.
Fran, you were talking about furniture before. They have trucks, they have locations. Talk to Max about this idea. You might have it right there.
Hi, Steve. Seeing that I'm old and that I have no brain cells left for memory, I just thought of something, so I have to share it.
Furniture.
No,
You want,
no, listen, you mentioned Norman Rockwell.
yeah.
All right, somebody sent a picture, I have this framed at home, of a Norman Rockwell to him and said, please sign it. He wouldn't sign it, but he sent a letter back saying, I'm not able to sign this for you. I'm terribly sorry. And he signed the letter.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
I
Well,
have it framed. Furniture.
yeah, furniture. You were talking about if you could get someone to put up the warehouse, you would stuff it for them and they could do whatever they want with it.
Donate.
Yeah, you could skip the warehouse. Max, well, Fran, let me jog it. Okay. What happened earlier today? We were talking about the amount of furniture sometimes at certain sales that's
Mhm.
left over, that's really nice
Sure.
stuff, but you can't get rid of it immediately.
Right.
Well, I know Faith Farms has trucks. They see them all over the place. If Fran had a load of furniture to sell, would you kind of be the automatic, could Faith Farm come down on
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, she wouldn't bring it in there for nothing, but
No,
I
no,
mean,
I could set that up for Fran very easily, but we're not going to buy it from Fran.
no, no, no,
But I,
no, no.
but we would definitely pick. I could set it up where we could pick it up for Fran.
Okay, do you have enough people where you could actually fill up a warehouse of furniture
I mean,
and
enough space.
donate
Fran,
it?
yeah, I'm on the Fort Lauderdale campus right now. We have several acres of land here. We have a large campus in Boynton Beach, and we have a large campus in Okeechobee.
Okay,
Through the Lord's work, whatever we can do, we're going to do.
okay. And back to your question, Steve, nobody has cleared the board on Jeopardy.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. That's my goal.
Not me,
Uh,
buddy. If I got two right on a game, I'd be lucky.
uh,
But
um,
Fran and I can talk after the show.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So one of the things we were doing also, let me do a little something because we mentioned this before, and I want to show you something that we acquired that is just one step above the usual for this stuff. We have this. Let me kind of get it out of its protective sandwich bag. Those are all individual photos taken in the 1890s. A lot of them, the plurality of them, are identified in pencil on the back.
Beautiful, beautiful.
The images go from the camp mess hall to the battlefields and all of that. These are just about sold. I haven't, I am working on putting them together to image them to the client, but in the preliminary talking about it, and showed him what I want, he wants them. So when you find vintage images, folks, you really got to study what the content of the image is. And if it's got the right content of something novel or something like the blood, guts, and gore of war, an identifiably famous person, and who the photographer was, all of those are the factors you want. Who shot the photo, what's in it. But if it's a really strong image by itself, it doesn't matter who shot it. Take it from here. Max, go right ahead.
Well, I also know that in that type of subject matter, one of the very hot subjects is train and early automobile crashes and wrecks. Those,
Wow.
those are some of the highest, especially the train wrecks, the railroad collectors. That's a highly sought after subject for them.
Disaster in any image. Yeah,
Yeah.
disaster. It's the same thing. We've got stuff we haven't even looked at yet as far as that goes. It's just been an amazing project. Let me show you. Let's bring up another topic just for the heck of it. This really surprised me. When I looked at this, have you ever seen this before? Anybody?
Opening of the West.
Yeah, what do you
Is that a photographic album?
No, and I thought initially because it came from a stamp collector's
Right.
house, it was going to be stamps. But I also, when I opened it, then I realized I haven't even discussed what we have in printing history. This guy collected stuff from the American Banknote Company, from the GPO when they did the gorgeous stuff. And he belonged to this group that's a well-known group called the American, well, this was produced by the American Banknote Company. When you look at it, you get an envelope like this. And initially, I thought there were going to be stamps in it.
Lewis Clark.
Yeah, what you have, I mean, looking at it on the screen doesn't do it justice. But
Okay.
if you feel this, can you see it, Fran?
Yeah.
Yes.
Clearly.
Wow.
If you feel this, it's got the same feel because it's printed on the same stock as money,
Wow.
and it goes on and on. This is a reproduction of things that they issued in the past. I can't get up to get it now, but if you saw the size of this box, I have a notebook that's longer rectangularly and wider that has actual from the 1850s up to the 1900s, actual specimens. We were finding things like the dance card from the 1858 presidential inauguration with the
Wow.
little pencil and the string attached to it and things like that. But the printing examples, when you find fine printing, there's a tremendous market for it. I mean, I know, Fran, what you find in the Miami market, there's always that random one, like the Nobel Peace Prize and the medical books and other things like that. But I have never really seen a lot of great examples of printing stuff down here.
I have actually found Nobel medals.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, Max, I don't know if you know, Fran, we went into an estate. Fran was doing an estate sale. That had to be a biggest sale to date, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay. I thought that was the one with the hidden rooms.
Are you
Out,
talking about the
out,
one with the two books you found?
no, this was the one with the hidden room with the guns. The other hidden room with the
Oh,
guns.
no, that wasn't my biggest sale, but it was a real good one.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I just, we talked about that. But That's where the Nobel Prize was. You had mentioned we were talking, the family was talking. You had said their father won the Nobel Prize, and I quietly said, "Do you still have the prize?"
Are you
And
talking about the house where the guy invented the pacemaker?
yeah, he won the Nobel Prize for blood work. Yeah, that was that in Cutler Ridge or wherever it was.
Cutler Bay. Yeah. Off of Gold Cutler, he had invented the pacemaker. And
Right.
he had the first 3 pacemakers that were ever used.
But he also
Oh,
won the Nobel Prize in 34.
yes, what an incredible historical sale that was.
And it had a secret room with guns because you also had to call the ATF in on that one.
I did.
That's what you told me. Wait a minute. I was drooling. I was really flush at the moment. And you told me there was a secret room of guns. And I
It
said,
could be.
wow, yeah, there was.
I don't usually deal with the guns. I have a federal.
No, you brought ATF in.
Okay.
I mean, that story, that when you said it, I asked you in the beginning of the program, you've had more than one major sale where you had to call an ATF.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But it was just an amazing sale that also had a Nobel Prize. We got to hit a commercial break. We'll be back. Max, when we come back, open up with something.
Welcome to Bucks on the Bookshelf with your host, Steve the Bookman Eisenstein. Steve the Bookman Eisenstein has been involved in buying, selling, and appraisals of rare books since 1968. This show has been designed with making money for the listeners in mind. More people know the value of coins, stamps, objects of art, and collectibles they do not own than the values of the books in their home library shelves. Now, here's Steve the Bookman Eisenstein.
Welcome back, my fellow rare bookians. Max, talk to us. If you've got something going, talk to us now. I just stumbled into something, but you're the guest. You go
I
first.
saw that. Yeah. Wait. Is there ever a day when there's nothing going on? I mean, I feel like I'm the snake chasing its tail every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's something interesting for everyone to think about. Have your audience think about. Every day I go to the post office to drop my books off. The USPS workers don't believe I'm selling books. Nobody believes that people still read, people still collect, people still want to have the tactile feeling and emotion of holding a book that they desire.
Mm-hmm.
And, in my business or businesses, I'm selling, we're selling over 100 books a day worldwide. And every day, a day doesn't come by where someone asks me, oh, I didn't know people still read books. And not only do they still read, even though technology is what it is, and still with AI and Chat GPT still surpassing what we are as humans, people still collect. The collections are still out there to get. People still are saving books that, we get calls every day from family members, someone has passed, and can I come out and look at their collection? And I want people in your audience to truly understand that there are, people are reading more now than they actually did 100 years ago. The art of language, the art of writing is the part that's on the downside. But people still read, and the books are still out there for collectors and bibliophiles to get. And it's not shrinking anytime soon. It's still a growing industry. And one of the great articles I read recently in the past 10 days is out of England. There are more used bookstores now popping up in England than ever before.
Wow, it's like Ann Arbor used to be the used bookstore capital of the world. I agree. We see at the shows, every year, 20% fresh face, never been to a book fair, want to learn. What surprised me is a lot of them, besides collecting, they want to learn restoration, repair, binding, things like that. Fran, any thoughts?
Steve, it's funny about that. My grandchildren do have to read books in school. Mm-hmm. And they do bring them home. and they have to physically hold the book and turn the page. All right. I'm so ADD, I cannot read a book. So I have to learn everything through the computer with snippets, and that's how I do my research. But I'm so sorry I missed out on that wonderful, wonderful part of life.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
let me say this. I'm a voracious reader. I do not read fiction. I always use this as the joke. The Great Gatsby is my favorite book to illustrate points, the complexity of first editions and things like that. I've sold the book 5 times, never had a dust jacket, never read it, never saw the movie. I just, I read nonfiction. They say that people read for escape. Um,
Yeah.
or to get to somewhere they thought they'd never been. The first 10 years of my life on Miami Beach gave me enough social things to think about. Yeah, I don't have to think about escaping. I want to read for knowledge. And,
Yeah.
in our fields, the three of us, uh, I won't say it happens every day, but every couple of days we're finding things we've never seen before, and
Yeah.
or haven't seen in a long time. I was shocked when I found out the bottom of the Chagall market dropped just when I got every one of his books with lithographs in them at once from Harold, by the way.
Yeah.
Let me change the subject to both of you for a second. Max, let me focus in on this. And I think, Fran, with you, the answer might be Patrick, if you're doing business in Gables and stamps and things like that. I'm going to try and move the computer to illustrate this. You're going to be looking at the floor for a second. Do you see that box of first edition, first day covers?
Yes.
Yes.
It weighs, if you pick that box up, it weighs like a ream of paper. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go through a lot of the envelopes because we found 1 pound silver coins in the underwear drawers. God knows what might be in the envelope. And I'm not joking. I mean, I'm not joking about that, friend. When we started frisking the drawers over the course of, a couple of days, I literally found 5 1 pound silvers. And I don't know, I think we lost track after 301 ounces from the Franklin Mint. So he was a stamp collector. First day covers. Max or Fran, is there besides Gables, is there anybody enthusiastically that you know about for first day covers? And Fran, if not, Max, can you do anything in an auction with first day covers? It's stamps. I mean, I might sell the whole thing in bulk, but I am curious.
If you
In it,
thought that the Chagall market dropped,
oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, okay.
first day stamp, that market
Yeah, I know.
is virtually nothing now. Now there are certain ones that are still collectible. I mean, if you're an ornithologist, you still want the ones with the species of birds.
Oh, well, yeah. What made me ask you was fire departments, cars, railroads.
In all transparent honesty of business,
No.
you would have to just run those in bulk at this point.
Yeah, I
And
know.
whatever you got for them, you would be thankful for because you got to get them out of your life.
Well, they're fun to look at. They're good gifts. But I guess if I would say realistically, and you're right, the stamp market is worse than the Chagall market. Maybe a nickel to a dime a piece, if that, in bulk. But the other thing is, who remembers the Garcelon Stamp Company? Okay, you think that box is big? I think we got about 1,000 of these of
But
the
you know what?
approvals.
You got to battle. You got to battle time. And is it worth your time to be selling them for what you may get for them? Now,
No.
one of the platforms I utilize is a newer platform called whatnot.com, and it's live selling 24 hours a day. It's probably the best platform to move what you have there. But you're going to get the low end of probably what they happen to value at. But so often in our worlds, we already have too much than we can deal with anyways. I know that all three of us are always chasing, trying to catch up. And I know that all three of us realize internally we're never going to catch up.
I just don't want to leave a mess.
Oh, really, Steve? Really? That's
So
kind
you
of
just, when I came here this morning for Faith Farm, I was digging through fresh Gaylords we got this week. And I was just pulling books out of the box to sell today. My knowledge is so where I don't have to comp my brain comps things out as I pull them out of the box. But we're just selling in bulk because we get bulk. We're not selling things like we're Christie's or Sotheby's one at a time or Heritage Auction. Because we're in South Florida, because we're in Florida, and this is where everybody retires to, and then subsequently, sadly, everybody passes, my phone rings off the hook all day long with having to go check out people's homes and their collections. And you show this first day cover, one of the greatest calls I get every week. It's every week. My husband, my wife collected the newspaper when JFK died.
Oh yeah, heroes.
There's 10 million of them out there. I mean, you could still sell them. You could still sell them one by one every 10 seconds, but you're only going to get a few bucks for them.
Yeah.
But everybody collected them when JFK passed away.
Yeah, like the Time Life magazines or Eros or those kind of things.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, one of the things, it's a
Well,
project.
some of the Eros are good. The one with Picasso and Marilyn Monroe, very good.
Yeah, those will stand on their own. One of the areas that we haven't researched yet, I've got one of these elephant folio size archival boxes from the Spanish American and the campaigns in Manila, of the color inserts from different newspapers across the country, the full insert, but they're full color pages with soldiers and things like that in uniforms. Yeah, most newspapers are not going to be anything of note. Like the magazines, the rule of thumb in magazines, I mean, I've never been challenged on this one. It's usually volume 1, number 1, unless there's some kind of very special issue. National Geographic's a perfect example of that. And boy, did the bottom ever crash out of that. 20, 25 years ago, you were getting 20, 25 grand, for the volume 1, number 1. Today, I don't think you can get 5 for it.
Yeah. Technology is, back in the day when I was working for the great Robert Hiddle, you would have to wait for one person to come in and buy that special book you had on the second floor. And now what the internet has done is made the rare not so rare.
Oh, yeah. I just, you flashed me to his store. I didn't say you flashed me. I said you flashed me to his store. Joke.
Don't tell Fran I flashed you.
There was, that would be my wife that you'll hear the joke. My wife just heard I said my wife, but she's have a headset on that's got delay, so she'll catch up with us in a minute. And by the way, wait a minute. Everybody, excuse the grand tour. Edie is in her chair right now taking notes.
There she is.
Here, I'm going to give you my headset.
Hello.
Hi, Edie.
Oh,
How are you, Edie?
I am fine, and I am so thoroughly enjoying listening to you, Max. And Fran, I love you, and good luck Tuesday. But you are two sharp people, and my husband is having difficulty talking over you because you're both so good.
We don't want
So
Edie, just like you. We don't want him to talk. Fran and I will take care of everything.
That's right.
Yeah, I hear that, Max. Oh, Fran, there you are. You look
We're starting
great.
our own show. Max and I already have one going. Don't worry. No,
Fran and I will be
just
live.
kidding.
Fran and I will be live at 5 p.m. on our own show tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I would put Stephen's knowledge against anybody.
For sure.
Good to see you, Edie. Very nice to see you.
For sure. Max,
Yes.
question. I love, for some reason, I don't know why I collect this, because I really collect nothing but people and animals.
Okay.
Really.
Mhm.
I love the old menus from like the early 1900s
Yeah.
and the 1800s. And I love getting these. I keep them at home. I have these telegraphs that were sent during the war from soldiers to their families. Do you ever get those things? I find them so fascinating.
Yeah. One of the well, you probably know this, but one of the up and coming subjects right now,
Thank you. It's
categories is ephemera. And old menus are always great in ephemera, but anything military related that's paper, whether it's
Guys, I got to interrupt you. We got a commercial break.
Okay. We'll get you, Fran. We'll get you.
I'm sorry. This was difficult.
That's okay.
I'm going to get yelled at for it later anyway. That's a joke between the studio and us.
I wonder who wrote the book of love? Tell me, who wrote the book of love?
Welcome to Bucks on the Bookshelf with your host, Steve the Bookman Eisenstein. Steve the Bookman Eisenstein has been involved in buying, selling, and appraisals of rare books since 1968. This show has been designed with making money for the listeners in mind. More people know the value of coins, stamps, objects of art, and collectibles they do not own than the values of the books in their home library shelves.
Wonder who. Who wrote the Book of Love? Oh, I love that song. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's do something. We haven't, today I'm so enthralled with the show, I forgot to give out the call-in numbers. Telephone number is 888-575-4394. That's 888-575-4394. Be the first person to answer this trivia question, and we will send you a prize. Who wrote the song? I wonder who. Who wrote it? I want to know the name of the group.
And I thought we were going to go literary on this.
Well, come on, man. Anything is literary if you can intellectualize it. What were you talking about with menus before? I missed that.
I was talking, Fran was telling me about her love of menus and the World War II telegram she was getting in. And I was just talking about how nowadays the rise of ephemera is really on a sharp increase. And you know this, Steve, when you go to these book shows all across the country, there's now ephemera dealers that specifically, they don't want anything to do with books. They just want to deal in paper. And it makes it easier to travel with for sure. But on my YouTube channel, Paper Gold Podcast, I've interviewed a few ephemera dealers. And one of the wonderful things they're telling me when we talk is how the younger generation really wants to see what things were like for their parents and their grandparents and their great-grandparents. So one of the great things that's coming out of all of this is the younger generation is now buying old typewriters because they want to see what it was like before the rise of the phone in the hand. And they want to see what people used to write on.
It's the same with the music.
Go ahead, Fran.
Same with the music. They love. My 16-year-old granddaughter lives with me, and she's very avant-garde, very progressive. She loves Louis Armstrong. Frank Sinatra. She goes from way back all the way up to the modern hip hop or whatever they play now. That's the same as what you're saying. She asked me what a record was, actually. She said, I've never seen a record.
Yeah. The great 60s and 70s poet Hayden Carruth once said that nostalgia was a delusion and a disease. But I think nostalgia is going to be coveted now, going up 20, 30, 40 years ahead now. We're going to covet more than we do now. We're going to covet what the recent past was like.
Wow, you said a very interesting word. When Patrick Hansma, as in Dr. Patrick Hansma, a forensic pathologist and a rare bookie extraordinaire in medical and theology, he's the one that got out of the medical book collection, by the way, Fran. He said it once, and he said it with a more of a negative aspect about the coveting, but He said, "Do you collect or do you covet?" We went into a philosophical discussion on that. He blew my mind with some of the things and the way he said it, with coveting and possessing. There's no time to do it. It'll be too clumsy. Another time. I have notebooks to the left of me with exactly what you're talking about. And Fran, the next menu that I see from the White House from the 19th century, it's my gift to you.
Oh,
Okay. Um,
excuse me, one of my most favorite clients
No.
has come in. And
Hi.
you're
Hi.
on a radio show.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's radio and television. We're thoroughly modern. You're not Millie, are you? Who are we meeting?
Oh,
No.
do you want to give me your name?
My name Irma.
Irma, hi.
Irma.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Welcome
to meet you
aboard.
too.
Irma,
Irma, you're live all over the world right now, Irma. Say hello to everybody.
You're all over the world.
I am over the world. Oh my goodness. I'm famous.
You're famous.
All right.
Hi, Irma.
One of our
Um,
regulars.
Wow, I got to come see your store. It's getting off
I'm
the
gonna
beach.
walk around. I'm gonna walk around while you're talking.
You got it. You got it. Max, yeah, ephemera. When you remember 10 Pound Island Book Company? Do you remember that name? A long time ago at a fair, he was saying, I had all these Salem Institute books on ships, and I said to him, "Look, I finally found something." He said, "Well, you're a little too late. I'm only dealing in ephemera now." Oh, Fran's giving us a tour. Oh, wow.
Keep talking.
Yeah, I am. And he's right. I have been averaging, I don't know, $500 to $2,000 a session sometimes with this ephemeral stuff when I can get on a real roll with it. Oh my God, I see an $8,000 book there. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, this is it for me. Neiman Marcus.
Neiman Marcus. Well, you know why Neiman Marcus started collecting miniature books? Because his wife wouldn't let him bring home big ones anymore, and I'm not joking.
Oh,
There's some old magazines for you, Steve.
Oh, wait, Judge, Luck, Puck. Let me show you something, Max.
Well, you know who did some of the covers for Judge, don't you?
Many people. Who are you thinking of?
Theodore Geisel.
I'm not going to tell you that name.
You and
at
I
me.
call him Dr. Seuss.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I was going to say, wait, as an artist, yeah, the nom de plume. Hold on, I'll show you something interesting. And also a tragedy. It'll take over for a minute, Max.
Fran, let's make
Yes.
sure. Fran, make sure we don't have any Dr. Seuss covers there.
no, I'm not a Dr. Seuss fan, so we won't. I never quite understood him. So that was my problem.
Yeah, those magazines go for 100 to about 400 when you get the cover.
Yeah, we've got some of the Fortune and whatever it is, some of the larger format ones. I don't know if I showed this on the show yet.
No,
Okay.
keep going. I'm listening.
Well, I got to be very careful. Hold on.
Okay.
What is that?
This was done in the 1850s. It was done in Rome. It was literally for the people on the Grand Tour, airport tourist art. The funny thing about it,
Go ahead.
two-sided Fawkes book. Okay, the tragedy. We've got out of the 823 ceramic medallions that are supposed to be in a complete set, we are really undercounted. We got the ones that here. This is an example of something on a broken set. This is kind of what the moral of this story is. Most broken sets are useless. Some can stand on their own. In this case, some of the volumes have more of a value than others based on the size and nature of the plaques. Like when you find one of these old photography books from the Middle East, Bond fills, some of his photos come out of the museum stock, so to speak, and others are actual scenes. So some photos are worth more than others. Some plaques like this in different volumes are worth more than the others. ballpark in dollars and cents is in individual volumes. This should go for about 8 to 1,200 each.
Wow.
And we have the more popular plaques than the tourist related, plaques within those. So I just thought I'd show something as an interesting set. I just didn't remember if I had seen it before, I had shown it before. What do you have coming up, Fran, Max? We got a couple of more. We got about 4 more minutes left in the show. So, Fran, I'm going to let you talk right now because I know your store is going to start to get busy. It's noon.
What do I have coming up? I have my $100 million home on the beach. I have a Coral Gables home. I have several condos coming up
And it's
with cool stuff, nothing exciting, no antiques, because antiques here don't do anything. Everybody wants white on white on white. They throw in
Yeah.
black, gray, and they call that color.
yeah.
But color is coming back.
Thank you.
Okay.
It looks fabulous.
And for the audience overseas, on in country, maybe some aliens in outer space, remember I have reserved the first booth at the Intergalactic Book Fair. But Fran is BaronEstateSales.com, right? Or net?
Net.
Net. BaronEstateSales.net. And you see her phone number on the screen. I will tell you, if you know anyone in Miami, they're your friend, relative, countryman, things like that, and they're saying, man, I got to move. I don't know what the hell to do with all my shit. Call Fran. She will put you where you want to be, for sure. And if you got books, I'll be there with her. Okay. Fran.
Gold, silver, and jewelry I buy.
Okay. Okay. And Max, Max, talk to us. What have you got coming up? When is give us your auction schedule? Paper gold.
I'm actually 7 days a week now on the auction schedule. Sometimes I'm doing 2 auctions a day. Sometimes I'm doing one with books in the morning, and maybe I'll do memorabilia in the evening or vice versa. But we're all over the place. I just got a phenomenal collection of books in from Kentucky, 3 Gaylords of books, and all of the collection was World War I, World War II, Wild Wild West, and also tragedy and natural disaster collection. And
nice.
we're talking about 5,000 to 6,000 books, all on these subjects. I have another collection coming in from California, which is going to be very famous poets from the 60s and 70s and 80s. And showcase in this collection is going to be a lot of signed Charles Bukowski, Black Sparrow Press.
Got the time. Okay.
So just amazing stuff. But if people want to find me, they can find me on Common Ground Finds, all one word, on eBay. They can find me on YouTube at Paper Gold Podcast. They can find me on Whatnot at Common Ground Finds. But you can always just call Steve and ask for my number.
You got it. And we're close to that moment where I like to close the show with saying, if Roy Rogers and Dale Evans were book dealers, we'd be singing happy book sales and buys to you till we meet again, y'all.
Thank you,
Ciao
everybody.
for now. Fran, love you. Amen.
Monotones.
Max,
Yep.
we're done. We're off air.
Fran, get my number from Steve.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to talk to you Tuesday anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Was it the monotones?
The monotones, yes. I wonder. Talk to you later.
I enjoyed this so much.
I love it. We
Bye,
got to do it
everybody.
again.
Fran, we'll
Bye.
talk soon.
Bye, Max. We will
Bye,
talk.
Fran. We'll talk soon.
Okay.